Hey guys, thanks for checking out the video today. I don't really make a ton of videos. I do this just for fun, but when I do, it's usually because there's something cool that happened or just a really cool piece of kit that I want to talk about and just kind of see if there's anyone else that appreciates it too. I especially like gear that serves multiple roles. It can help, make you more prepared in a tight situation, whether it's producing clean water, portable power, or just staying comfortable in a pinch or when you're away from home. I find self-sufficiency really super interesting for some reason, especially with today's power rates. That's what brings me to this video today. This right here is the Anker Solix C200X portable power station. It's really one of the most small power stations you can get that still includes your AC inverter here. There are cheaper, kind of more generic options out there, but honestly, when you're dealing with batteries and electricity, you really want to kind of pick someone that's reliable with a good reputation, I find. I've owned quite a few Anker products over the years, including chargers, cables, a bunch of different power banks, some small ones, some much more large ones, and they've generally treated me pretty well. Not perfect, but pretty good. The last couple of years, my main portable power solution has been this guy, the Anker 737, a name which, yes, I remember because of the Boeing jet. It's been a great charger for things like my phone, laptop. You can get a full laptop charge out of this, portable gaming PC, things like that. It's got a power capacity of about 24,000 milliamps or 86 watt hours, which is really similar to that of a laptop. A multi-day power outage earlier this year reminded me the limitations of a solution like this. It can keep my phone alive for a long time, but once I started getting to things like a Wi-Fi router, fans, some basic lighting, some super lightweight household needs, it really was insufficient for those sorts of needs. So I started looking for a power station, something that could be powerful yet still kind of portable, and had a capacity that could run a few more basic kind of AC things, kind of things that would be a little bit more high level than what I had before. So that's where the C200X comes in. Anker's X models usually being those specifically for third-party retailers like Costco or Amazon. They generally don't sell those themselves. This particular model has a 230 watt capacity battery. It's lithium iron phosphate, LiFePO. It's got a 300 watt AC inverter on it with surge protection up to about 600 watts for short bursts. Even though it's one of the smaller solar capable options on the market, it still offers a substantial increase over this guy, about double the battery size. It's still small enough to kind of be viable in a backpack, leave it in a vehicle, stow in the closet if you need kind of an emergency solution. As far as I/O, it's got pretty much everything I wanted to have going on. It's got a 12-volt socket down here. If you have things like an air pump for an air mattress, things like that, portable cooler runs off of those. It's got a single Type A, multiple Type C ports, including a high-capacity dual in and out one that can do up to 140 watts for devices that'll work for that, including this guy. Accompanying that inverter has 3 AC outlets, as I mentioned. For really anything that's low power for the household, you're going to run off those. You don't want to run major things off of there. The last bit of I/O I want to talk about is kind of how we got here in the first place, is this guy, the XT60 solar connector. I've been playing around with solar and portable solutions for a pretty long time at this point. This little guy is the Power Traveler Solar Monkey. I love this form factor, but not super powerful. This guy is the BioLite 5 watt panel. Really great in a pinch for things like charging your phone, but not a whole lot else. Still a great solution. It's got a built-in battery pack, but not super great for anything beyond like phones, headlamps, things like that. Meanwhile, the C200X through that XT60 connector can accept up to 100 watts of solar input, which puts this combination in a completely different class to the other solutions I already talked about. You can get the power station by itself, but it also comes in a bundle with this 60 watt folding solar panel, which comes in this sort of folio thing. Really great and compact, really easy to get around. Anker's solar panel solutions are really not the most affordable on their own. If you really want to get something that's a little bit more friendly for the house, something more permanent than, that's not really primarily for on the go or camping, there are cheaper solutions out there. You can get a nice 100 watt panel on Amazon for maybe $80 to $100. So there's plenty of those options out there if you don't need something that's mobility is really important. After doing some research, I decided to pick up the C200X, which is basically just a smaller capacity version of the popular C300. Everything's the same, the inverter, everything except for the capacity. And basically for the last few months, it's been sitting next to my bed. Most of the time, it's just been sort of a high output charger with that 140 watt output and sort of a lightweight UPS if I needed that. Basically just means the utility power will stay on. If the house power goes out, it'll keep your things going through the battery. can be essential for things like a CPAP machine or a server in a case where you've got a larger capacity here or output. Originally, I kind of intended to take this video down at the County Beach Park, setting up the solar panel, kind of showing it as sort of an away from home kind of like, almost like a hiking kind of camping sort of solution. And that's where actually some of the footage you're looking at right now, where that came from. But after I filmed that, I wasn't really happy with kind of how things came out. It kind of felt long and fragmented. So I kind of shelved all of that, and I decided maybe not even to do it for now. Then about a week later, something really interesting happened. We had a tornado warning, some high winds, and the power knocked out in the morning, and it lasted for several hours. Suddenly, I had the chance to test it out for the other type of situation I went into, which is basically sort of off-grid backup power for certain things. So instead of a normal review of me chilling in the park in the hammock and setting this up, I became a video driven by this power outage and kind of showing it in that capacity. So here's how that went.
So interesting, we actually have a little bit of a rain squall going on out here today. The power to the house just kicked off rather randomly. And the small battery in that C200X is actually powering up a couple of my components right now. So you can see here, like this is this little Edison bulb I have in my nightstand. No power to this at all. And the light on the TV's out. Actually, it's over here, I think, or not right here. But that's out. So instead, we've got the C200X here. It just started coming in over the battery. Got the iPad plugged into it. Just got 20 some odd watts going out. Looks like for about 9 hours or so, but I can't imagine the outage will last that long. And got my little battery powered USB fan plugged into it, and got this light here if we need to. And I could put that on for a second. Could actually plug in my Wi-Fi router to one of these USB-C ports. I've also got this. I have the inverter turned off right now, but I actually have this standing fan plugged in if I wanted something bigger. It is June, but this typically does the kind of the trick for a low power solution. So I actually don't have the solar panels hooked up right now. That would help, although it is the rain that has kind of caused this, so there's probably not much solar energy to be had today. But regardless, it will keep some smaller stuff charged in this situation. So you can see I decided to set up the panel anyway, the little 60-watt panel, and see if we could get any, sun coming through these clouds. It's extremely overcast, and the rain has died down, though the power's still out on the house. So thought we'd see what this thing can do through a bit of cloud cover. And it is rated to, I believe it's IP67 water resistance anyway, but the power bank is not. The power bank is not something to leave out in the rain, but thought I'd check and see how the panel does in conditions like this. 5 watts in from 6 watts in from the solar panel right now, which is very little, but it's completely overcast, as you saw. The only thing I've got plugged in right now is the iPad here, just charging it up. Kind of more just, because my phone's pretty much charged. Got that plugged in here too. All right, I can see about at this point, I decided to plug in the T-Mobile Wi-Fi 5G router here. And it's normally runs for me at about 8 watts power, so not too bad, but obviously just an essential part of your day-to-day kit. The weather was mostly better at this point. It was kind of in and out, but honestly, it was pretty sunny. The rain really kind of pushed out unexpectedly easily. So you got my kind of mobile workstation set up here a little bit. Got my iPad still charging, got the Wi-Fi router going, laptop's up, got the solar panel right over here collecting some juice. Got a lot of sun now, actually. Getting in about 50 watts and only using about 14 because the laptop's got full battery now. So yeah, this is actually working out pretty good. I have not seen this go under 93% really since I put the solar panel out about probably an hour ago. All right, so the power's been off maybe about 3 hours or so at this point. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon. It went off about 11 a.m. this morning. We're getting some real decent sun now, so we've been getting up to about even 50-55 watts on the 60-watt panel in certain spurts. I actually want to try and see
right now if I can plug the fridge in and see if I can get a little bit of compressor time out of that. So we're gonna see. It's only like a 230 watt hour battery in that C200X, but it's rated for 300 watts with a 600 watt surge. So I am curious because fridges don't always use as much power as people think, at least, you know, in the short term. So I'm gonna plug that in and see if we can power that thing up at all. That's the plan anyway. We'll see. All right, so I've got the refrigerator right now plugged into the power station. It's down to about 50% battery right now. It's drawing between 180 and 220 watts. It's kind of an old fridge. Actually, it's a really old fridge. According to this government website I found, you can keep your food safe without really issue for about 4 hours in a refrigerator without power. Sun's peeking out again. There's been a ton of sun lately, so I'm not sure what happened upstream in the power, but yeah, so the government website. So it said 4 hours about, and about 48 hours in the freezer, which makes sense. Stuff stays frozen for a pretty long time. I mean, anyone who's ever been camping, you know, you can keep it. But so we're going to see how it does. But as of right now, it is capable of powering that refrigerator, but capacity wise, you're going to kill that entire battery top to bottom in about an hour with a refrigerator like this. Mini fridge could probably go a lot longer, but if you're trying to use this as, you know, a real last ditch home solution, it is possible. All right, so I did manage to get that refrigerator down to temperature. It cost probably about half the battery. It went from about 84, 85% down to maybe about 40% thereabouts. It took probably 25 minutes. And it got up to, I saw it tick over 300 watts in a couple of moments, but it generally was between about 180 and 220, 230 watts, give or take. So I could run it for about another half hour like that, but I think what I'm gonna do is turn the refrigerator back off. It's to temperature now, so that's hopefully kind of resetting that 4 hour-ish timer. So I'm gonna try to recharge this battery a little bit because I'm using about triple my, you know, my input on the solar panels, and I've only got peak sun for another couple of hours here. This valley, the sun sets pretty early, so there's only another, you know, 2 or 3 hours of decent sunshine here. So if I'm hoping to have this battery up, because if this outage lasts into the evening, my battery could be dead, you know, fairly quickly like this. So my plan is to unplug the fridge again for a while and charge that battery up, and then I'll have that reserve power to reset the fridge again, or to just charge up my regular components if I need to. So that's the plan right now. Come on, no. Knowing that I wasn't going to get my afternoon caffeine, I decided to check the station to see if we had any more information about the power outage. And we still had quite a bit of them, but it looked like it was projected to end around 5 or 5:30, which was only about an hour from this point, so didn't have too much longer to wait. Over about the last hour, the sun really kind of failed me anyway. You can see my cat kind of checking with me here. It just became really overcast again, and there really wasn't much input from the sun. So when it ended around 5 o'clock here, you see my fridge trying to start up. It honestly came at about the right time. My power ended at about 40 or 50%, and you see me here putting the panel away. It honestly came at a pretty good time, all things considered, with the weather that we were having. The sun was really kind of done for the rest of the day at this point. All right, so that's sort of how everything went with this power station. It was a really kind of a crazy day. I was really kind of fortunate in that after like the first hour, the weather really cooperated with me. It was kind of an unusual best case scenario situation. We had plenty of sun. The rain had kind of mostly gone away, and I was really able to get quite a bit of wattage out of this, like 50 watts at times, which is quite good on a 60 watt panel. So kind of take that with a bit of a grain of salt. This is definitely not a normal situation for a power station like this. If you want things like your coffee machine, you know, a water heater, anything that heats things up is really expensive on electricity. You're going to want something with a higher capacity, but in a pinch, it was really nice to have. And I'm so glad that I did. Honestly, it's just a nice little bit of peace of mind. In the future, I will probably get something larger, maybe a 1 or 2,000 watt, but that'll be for another time. Anyway, if you made it this far, thanks for checking out the video, and I'll see you next time.